Hi. Welcome to the show, which is called
Monday Chat.
Monday Chat. Indeed it is. We're delayed by a day. Do forgive us.
There's not much they can do if they don't, though.
No,
really.
I just thought I'd say it in the interests of being
kind
and giving good customer service. My lips are dry as usual. I've just cleaned my teeth. My lips are always dry when I clean my teeth.
Why?
They always are.
I clean my teeth and my lips aren't particularly dry. No.
Well, you're full of juice, Paul.
Yeah, I'm full of juice.
Whereas I'm some dried up husk.
At 39.
At 39.
Yeah.
Anywho, welcome to the show. Welcome to everybody near and far, all over the world and the solar system and beyond. To the aliens in the planet Tharg. That's welcome to the show in Thargish.
Oh dear. I mean, there may be creatures out there, mayn't there? They can communicate so many different ways. I'm sure.
Well,
telepathically.
I'm sure there are interdimensional beings who communicate through interdimensional ways.
I mean, bees.
Gamees? What the hell are gamees for?
I was thinking manganese then. But bees
Why were you thinking of manganese?
I don't know.
I think you need some kind of mental health assessment.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to carry one out on you.
They communicate through what hitting me. Through fanning their wings and things.
Fanning their fanners.
And of course there's those creatures who communicate through scent as well, and sort of giving off, I mean, they're not necessarily talking, but they're giving off sort of, if there might be predators
Pheromones.
In the area and things like that, yeah. Or if they're feeling particularly horny and things.
Oh, don't say disgusting words like that, Paul. It's a family show. Dogs. Well, look at dogs. I mean, the majority of dogs' communication is actually done with the nose, isn't it?
Which is why they sniff each other's bums.
They build up a whole picture of something through scent.
Scent glands. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Disgusting. Anywho, let's get on with the show. So, yes, do forgive us for being so late. We do hope the usual number of people watch us. I've got a runny eye now.
A runny eye?
Yeah, it's sort of like a little bit... I think I've got something in it.
Oh, can you go on?
No, I have to stop. Cut.
Oh, somebody asked about the can't go on. It's simply because they
Who asked?
Somebody on, was it? I can't remember. Somebody, Beverly,
where does it
I think
come
it may have been. Where does it come from? It comes from several years ago. There was an awful lot of people who were doing clickbait YouTube. This is going to be a disaster, as a headline.
Everything's gone wrong.
Yeah, it's all disastrous. It's all going to fail. And it was sort of like, oh, what are they talking about? And it was clickbaity. And that's...
Because when you'd watch the video, it was like a tomato plant had failed.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the cucumbers didn't germinate.
Yeah, so they've done some more and they've germinated really well.
And also people using the word, it's a complete disaster. Well, no, a disaster is a tsunami or an earthquake.
Yeah.
That's a disaster.
So that's...
Something not germinating is not a disaster.
No, unless it's commercial crops, things like that. But anyway, that's where it comes from. Yeah. It comes from it being so clickbaity.
And we're just taking the complete and utter piss out of those
basically.
people.
Yeah,
we do apologise. Sorry, not sorry.
And several of those people have gone on to have huge channels from basically clickbait and lying. Yeah. So you won't get that here.
No, you
because
heard it here.
If we started doing that, we truly couldn't go on.
No, and obviously we're always completely and utterly genuine,
Absolutely.
honest.
Which is why I'm
All
going
of
to
the
be
time.
58 and Richard is going to be 39 again.
39. Before we move on and go off on some tangent, this ain't going to be a long one this week because we're both bloody knackered and we can't go on.
Said the two bishops to the actress.
Well, we are. We've had quite a tiring weekend.
Yeah.
But anyway, before we do go on, we met somebody over the weekend who is a fan of our channel,
We did.
Le Chanel de Richard Paul. So we'd like to say a word. So we'd like to say a shite-ite to Karen.
Karen.
Hi, Karen. All right, love.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to meet you, and we hope you're watching and enjoying the show as usual
Absolutely.
on this Monday
Yes. Yeah.
of loveliness.
Yes. It was lovely to meet you. It's funny when you meet
It
people
was.
that know you through YouTube. You know, it's quite bizarre, really. I find it very bizarre.
Well, you're the only one who ever gets recognised, Paul.
Yes.
For some unknown reason, people don't want to talk to me in the street, and I just don't know why.
That's because you're arrogant and aloof. That's why. Yeah. People generally talk to me in public toilets. That's happened twice to me. Twice.
Well, not even that happens to me.
Well, you don't go to public toilets.
No, I try to avoid it wherever possible.
He does. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're disgusting. That's why. And the number of times I've seen men exiting a cubicle or a urinal without washing their hands. Disgusting.
However, I have visited some public bathrooms in my time where you didn't really want to wash your hands. I do use my sort of clothes, you know, I might put down my shirt and use the cloth to do the handle and things.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I do that quite often.
Bathorama. Right.
I mean, the public toilets on the A3 at, you know, the Marks and Spencer services, they're not great. No.
Paul, shush now.
I avoid them now.
Shush now, I'm serious. No more whiffle, waffle, piffle, poffle. Diffle, doffle. Giffle, goffle.
Giffle coffle.
That's my new poem.
It's all a lot of waffle.
So, to those of you who maybe have recently joined us and are wondering what the hell you're watching, it's because I think somebody else made a comment saying I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about,
Well,
what I'm watching.
I subscribe for you to you for the cookery and have no idea what's going on. That was a comment on last week's Sunday
I'm
chat.
here to tell you, neither have we.
No, not really.
So you're in good company.
Yeah.
Welcome, bloody welcome. Anywho, we kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report.
It's been warm, I think, verging on hot.
Really? You could have fooled me. I've got a scarf and a
Oh,
overshirt
but
on.
I said been. It's now sort of the sun's out, but there's a breeze going, and it's feeling a little bit chilly. As we said before, if you're in the sun, it's absolutely gorgeous. But as soon as you're in the shade or inside, oh my, it's a little bit chillier.
Or if you're travelling in a car on the motorway, as we were over the weekend, it's bloody warm. Without the air conditioner.
Oh God,
Paul,
yes, I know.
The bloody one thing that I was interested in getting done. I don't care about the MOT. I don't care about the service.
You can't go anywhere.
I don't care about the things that are maybe potentially dangerous and hazardous. I care about the air conditioner.
Because you don't like to glow too much, do you?
Well, I just like to reach my destination feeling a comfortable temperature rather than feeling as though I've actually been cooked in an oven. So, yeah, sunny, much warmer this week, although showers are forecast for the remainder of the week. Potentially thundery downpours. And also I've noticed that there is more aurora. Or is it aurori?
Aurora.
No, the plural. Aurora,
Well,
is forecast for in the next couple of weeks. Apparently that sunspot's coming back round. That's going to cause a stream of particles to be thrust at the Earth, causing aurora.
but how long does it take? I thought it was a matter of minutes, these solar storms sort of coming
18
across.
hours it takes to reach
18
us.
hours?
So they can't be going at the speed of light.
Well, no, they're
No.
definitely not. They're going at the speed of a coach, I think. Something like that, yes.
A coach in what universe?
In another universe where it's
93
it goes
million miles,
faster.
Paul.
Where a coach goes
It's
faster than
93
another.
million miles.
Yeah, maybe a very quick coach. Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to. Except we'll probably get cloud that night.
Well, they did say that there could have been some over the weekend, but we didn't see any of that either. But we did see a rather nice sunset on Saturday evening. That was rather
Well,
lovely.
we glimpsed a sunset.
Yeah, I glimpsed the sunset
Through
through
the
the trees in the distance.
Anywho, update on the heist.
Still a few things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scaffold's gone.
Yeah.
That's great. There's a couple of touch-ups need to be done. I've noticed there's a little patch down there as well. In that corner by the gutter. Needs to be finished. They're in the area. We can grab them and make them work.
And there's also some to do on the lower wall just behind you where you're viewing from. Yes. Yes.
So there we are. That's all good. So
But it does look very bright and clean.
Yeah.
And in fact, I popped down. We got back yesterday, Sunday, and I popped down to the allotment. And I was coming back. One of the people that was interested in our house when we had it on the market last year
not interested enough, clearly.
was asking whether we would be interested in a very decent offer this year. To which the answer was no, not really. But there we are. Yeah.
Well, you should have said what is the offer? That's what I'd have said.
Yeah, it wasn't an offer to make us move. Well, not make me move. This year we're not moving.
No.
That's it.
Lovely. So, super
Unless
duper.
somebody came in and said, "Well, here's £1 million for you to move out," and we go, "Yeah, maybe, yeah."
So we were away for the weekend. I was off on Thursday and Friday and today, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So we went north, as you'll see in my daily vlogs. There's a little snippet of travel. We didn't really do a travel vlog. To be honest, between seeing different sets of people, there really wasn't that much time to sort of just relax and think about talking to the camera. Really,
No, there wasn't, because we arrived with one set of friends on Friday afternoon about 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. And then we spent the day and evening with them, and then the following morning, but then, we knew that we needed to travel on to a family event in Macclesfield, and we got to the hotel, just had time to have a shower, get to the family event, do that, have a relatively early night because we were exhausted.
Yeah.
And then we were back at your sister's.
We got back to the hotel and I went out like a light.
He did.
I said, I'm getting on that bed and I'm sleeping, and slept, had a beautifully long sleep, which I desperately needed.
I finished my book, my Joe Nesbo book, the latest one I've been reading.
And then Sunday morning we were up early, down for the breakfast at the hotel, which was okay. We've stayed in this hotel. It's a Premier Inn in Macclesfield.
We've stayed there most probably over 10 years, maybe once a year.
And the staff are always absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Not always identifiable.
No,
because there's no uniform and there don't appear to be any name badges, which is a little bit strange.
Particularly in the restaurant side of things.
When a random person seems to be asking you whether you're having a cooked breakfast.
It was quite bizarre.
I thought, what business is it of yours, oh fellow hotel stayer,
And then
hotel guest?
Then he realised that he had a folded up piece of paper with the list of people who'd booked breakfast, and he was going to tick us off.
And I realised it was the restaurant manager.
Yeah.
So yeah, the breakfast was not so great, although we did eat it all. You left one of your sausages because it was a little bit dry.
I left 1.5 of my sausages. I don't like a dry sausage.
No, I don't like
I like
a
a moist,
sausage.
meaty
It's
sausage,
got to
and
be
it was just too wrinkled
vegetarian.
and too dry.
Vegetarian.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mushrooms were a little bullet-like. I felt.
Yeah. The baked beans were perfect.
And the hash browns were all right.
Oh, I wasn't a fan of those. I ate them.
You ate them. We also had
Scrambled
cereal.
eggs.
We had cereal. We had toast. You had crumpets. So we did clean them out.
Yeah. You had a sugary bun, didn't you?
I did, and a bowl of cereal and a yogurt.
All the yogurts.
The
Tim's
yogurts were good.
dairy yogurts. Absolutely. I have the natural Greek. You had a fruity one.
A peach one.
And I have to say that natural Greek yogurt I had was the best Greek yogurt
All right.
I've had
said that
for
once.
ages.
Yeah, don't say it again.
Well, it was Tim's dairy.
That was lovely, but not so great. So I will be leaving them an updated review on the Google.
There we are. But if you do like their beds, because they're known for their beds, their mattresses are now available through Silent Night. You can buy a Premier Inn mattress because they've teamed up with Silent Night. So there we are. You can go online and buy one.
Yes, that's more unpaid promotion for Premier Inn and Silent Night. Silent Night, the bed you can sleep on.
Is it a hippo? Is it a hippo?
It used to be a hippo and a duck, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it still is. Yeah.
And we bought it probably during our Silent Night mattress many years ago. We bought it probably during that campaign because of that.
Yes. So I would be the hippo, Richard would be the duck.
Light as a feather.
Just in case anyone's confused about that. Yeah.
But it lasted 10 years, the Silent Night, didn't it? Before it was sagging on your side.
Springs were coming through. We were rolling together. Yeah. It was a bit like that, those sort of gravitational waves that you see.
Well,
you know,
it was
we
better than sleeping on the futon, which frankly, after a few years, was like sleeping on a xylophone. Really?
See, I quite like the futon. I did quite like the futon.
Oh, no. I'm far too bony for a futon.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Oh, I think of those days when Mum and Dad used to come and stay with us and we'd give them our bed, which was the futon. And they were, I guess they were in their 60s then. And they was, oh dear. Oh, funny days.
Anywho, so we did have a very pleasant weekend.
We did.
But we were absolutely bloody knackered. And still are.
But
I'm still recovering.
You had a good night's sleep last night as well, didn't you?
I did, but I felt really quite weary this morning. But I had to force myself to do some physical work this morning. I thought, right, change the bed, sort that out, put a wash on and get outside and rake some of that old pebble dash up.
Yeah.
Where the builders have done all the removal of the pebble dash, there are quite a few small chunks that are mixed in with the gravel. I know. It's one of those lovely jobs which is never ending. So I raked it all over and took out the largest chunks I could find. So that was a nice bit of physical work. And I kind of felt a little bit more alive after that because it gets you going.
I think you do. I mean, I always do after doing things at the plot. I feel a little bit tired sometimes, a bit achy, but I think it's good just to keep the joint oiled, isn't it, to do those things?
Well, I mean, doing the gardening last week, that absolutely knackered my legs. My legs for 2 days were so sore. But it's kind of one of those feelings, it's not a soreness that you're feeling as though something's gone wrong with a muscle.
No.
It's because everything's been really stretched. And of course, doing a garden that has large borders, that you're sort of navigating your way through the borders, trying not to crush your favourite plants, you're having to bend and stretch and reach and do all of that, which of course you don't do every day.
No.
So it does give the body a full stretch and workout. So feeling that soreness from a workout is kind of quite a nice soreness, although it's a bit inconvenient when you're getting up and down and you've been sat for a while. But yes, so I don't feel knackered like that. I just feel as though, at the moment, I feel as though I could just sleep for a week. It's that kind of tiredness.
Yeah.
You know? And no doubt I'll feel fine because it's work tomorrow.
Well, I was awake 5:50 this morning, and I was...
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. I was down here on my tablet working, and then was at my desk by about 7 o'clock working. Certain things I needed to do just to sort of get ahead this week, so that was quite good. Yeah. So I hope to get to the plot after we finish this, or shortly after we finish this.
So,
Yeah.
I wonder what the word for this week is. Where's my book? Oh, it's there.
Oh, it's underneath.
Here we
We
go.
were given a present, weren't we? We were given a Chinese checkers
Oh, yes.
present by our neighbour.
Yeah. A nice wooden Chinese checkers, although they call it halma.
Halma. Yeah, I think it's called various different things, but basically you've got to get from one side of the board to the other, and you can hop over people.
We
and
played
things
it
like
once, but
Yeah.
I think we'll be having another game. Oh, I've dropped my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. Okay, right, well, here we go. Oh, God, my favourite part of the week.
Well,
Right, the
remember,
date today is the 20th of May.
20th.
Oh, please be an easy one. I don't...
Is it easy?
No, it's not bloody easy,
Do you
and it
want
begins
me
with
to do
Q.
it? What is it?
What? And the first line says, this word might not be familiar. Well, you can...
Go on.
Quod. I don't know. Quud.
Quad.
Quad. Well, yeah, but Quad is quad. Libertarian. Quad libertarian.
Oh. I think, hasn't that been... I think that's been
Shush.
shaped over the years to cod libertarian.
Cod libertarian.
I think so, yeah.
Right, okay. So Quodlib for boy, Etarian. Right. Cod libertarian, you think it is?
I think it's been, phonetically changed.
Right, okay. So the word might not be familiar, but the world is surely more full than at any previous point in its history of quad libertarians, people who express half-formed opinions on any subject under the sun.
I think that is very true.
The Latin quod libet, surely it would be quod, wouldn't it, in Latin?
Possibly.
Quod libet means whatever you please.
Yeah.
And the academic quod libetum was once an exercise in which the master talked about any topic suggested by the audience. So a quad libertarian is one willing to talk as though knowledgeably about anything at all.
Mm.
So that sort of...
We used to have...
that explains it, doesn't it? I don't need to read the rest of it.
No, you don't. We used to have debates where you had to sort of take a contrary stance maybe to what your stance was, or you would be given a stance to take. Those used to happen maybe sort of like 2 or 3 times a year at our school. And our English teacher would sometimes just say, right, today we're going to be talking about bananas, and we would talk everything there was around the subject of bananas. So maybe that is where that comes from. It was quite an old school I went. It was a public school. It was quite an old school. It was Queen Elizabeth I school in Guernsey. So
right.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. What?
Right, so that's lovely, special, smashing. So,
is that your opinion? Is that your general
the
opinion?
final segment of the show is what have we watched on television this week? Not an awful lot, as far as I can recall.
We watched Antiques Roadshow last night, and you fell asleep, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember anything to do with any television last night at all. All I remember was sitting on the sofa, having something to eat, saying to you, I feel quite tired.
There was a brooch on last night, and the owner thought it was a yellow citrine surrounded by diamonds. And it was actually a yellow sapphire surrounded by diamonds. It was absolutely glorious.
I do vaguely
it was
remember
lovely.
that.
That was absolutely lovely. I think that's the bit
it.
where you were falling asleep. Yeah. So
I fell asleep in an awkward position as well.
You did,
Because
yeah.
I woke up thinking, my neck.
Yeah. Yeah. And we also watched last night. We watched Loot, which is on Apple.
Did we watch that first then?
We watched that first, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Because I remember that.
Yeah, that was a
good.
great episode. And it was really nice because an actress in it was an actress that we really liked in several other programmes. I think she was in Will and Grace, wasn't she, at one point?
She was in... oh, God.
Oh, she was...
you get... there's 2 actresses who are very similar.
Yeah.
One was in that Maria Bamford series that we watched. She played her agent.
Yes.
And the one that we get mixed up with is that other actress that is in... Oh, God.
This actress that we saw last night wasn't in Will and Grace, I've just remembered. But yeah, it was...
Is it Anna Gastemeyer?
I'm not sure.
Is that her name?
But it's just, I'm not very good with actors' names. I know it may sound odd sometimes because I like that. But Loot is just, it's enjoyable.
Anywho, we also watched an episode of The Hotel Inspector. Won't go into details about that because frankly they're all the same.
Yeah, they're feeling a little bit samey, and the way that, the way that the structure is and the build up to it, and I don't think they're taking my advice to heart. Will it actually work out for them?
But it's very clickbaity.
It is.
Isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
yeah, it's
every
become
week
that.
now, you can see how they've edited her looks, and she's going as though something terrible has happened, and actually they've just forgotten to put the coffee maker on. Really, I think it's weak.
So that we watched that. What else did we watch?
We watched the final episode of Madame Blanc.
Yes. Which
yeah.
actually was, I thought it was quite a good episode. I do have a soft spot for it. I really do, yeah. And I know one of our subscribers, when I met him a few months ago, he said, Madame Blanc, I just don't get it. As in, why do you like it? It's not great.
I don't really get it.
Yeah, I quite like it.
You started watching Bodkin, which is a sort of...
Well, no, we started watching Bodkin.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to finish watching it, let's put it that way. Has it gone really dark?
Yeah, it has darkened, but it'll come back. Yeah.
The sun has gone in.
The sun hasn't got its hat on, or maybe it has.
And, I mean, I can take it or leave it, frankly. It's not really doing anything for me. You're enjoying it. You will continue
No,
to watch it.
I'm not sure I will continue to watch it, Richard.
Well, you can watch it on your own when
I
you
know
sit.
I can watch it, but I'm not sure whether I will. You
Why? I
know,
thought you were enjoying it, Paul.
I think it's quite good. I just don't like the main character, the male character lead in it. Just don't like him.
No.
All the other characters I like. I just don't like this guy's character development of this. You know. Yeah.
Lovely. We watched an interesting programme on 70s holidays.
Yeah.
Holidays. And that was interesting because it brought back memories of package holidays, holiday brochures. I mean, you had holiday brochures whether you were thinking of going on holiday or not.
Absolutely. You'd have a pre-holiday with the holiday brochures.
Yeah, you just flick through them and choose if you were going to go somewhere, where would it be and which hotel would it be in? And you'd flick through it and dream of places to go. I think we only went on one package holiday as a family.
We did.
And that was to Mallorca.
It was Ibiza for us.
And that was the only one we went on because we had the use of caravans in Anglesey. I mean, Mallorca, Anglesey, which one would you choose?
Yeah. But
Anglesey for 2 weeks with no sun and raining every day.
But with jets.
Or Mallorca in the sun with warm seas and beautiful people everywhere.
And of course,
shopping.
The thing with Guernsey or Jersey, any of the Channel Islands, same as with the Isle of Man, is you've got to get off the island first, particularly then, because then you didn't have flights that went direct to Spain or, hot places. You had to come into Heathrow or come into Gatwick to be able to then go on the package holiday.
But also
so it always added to the price.
So it must have been interesting because Guernsey is also, and has been for many, many years, a tourist and a holiday destination.
Absolutely.
So you had, when your mum and dad had the guest house, you had the experience of other people coming on a holiday.
Yes, loads. We would take, I think it was, the maximum we took was 16 at a time in family room, and then my brothers and I would have to sleep in the garage or our next door neighbour or whatever.
16 in a family room?
No, 16. We have 4 rooms, so we would take a maximum of 16 guests at one time. I think the maximum Mum actually took was 20 because I think they gave there was an error in something once and they had to give up their room as well. But anyway, they were good times.
Sleep then?
I think they slept next door, Auntie Betty and Uncle Mick. I think, all the kids would be bundled into one bedroom.
And who did the bookings? Did your mum do the bookings herself? Or?
Mum took bookings directly, but Dad, because Dad worked for British Rail then, and many of I would say 80% of the people that came to Mum and Dad's guest house, they worked for British Rail. So the boat would come from Weymouth then, and Dad would take, people would go up to Dad and say, "Oh, Baz, can you see if you've got..." They would give a note to the captain of the Earl Godwin or something like that, and the captain would give it to Dad, and Dad would check if that date was available, and then it would be sort of messaged back. I think very rarely was there sort of phone conversations that actually went on. It was quite bizarre, but then Mum would do last minute bookings through Guernsey Tourism. She would take bookings through Guernsey Tourism as well. So, and I think I've said before, because we lived in the country in Guernsey, Mum had to do an evening meal because after there wasn't time to get the last bus back from St Peter Port, after you'd eaten, there wasn't a last bus back, so Mum had to do the evening meal. It was they were great days, they really were. Yeah, fun times.
Lovely. So 70s holidays. Brochures.
Host seasons.
Spain.
Kuoni.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a fun programme. Quite nostalgic.
It was.
Just for that holiday brochures and the programs like Wish You Were Here and Holiday, that used to be on British television, where people would just dream of going abroad.
I mean,
to get away from the god-awful weather in the UK.
I mean, Holiday, which was on the BBC, was very much like a holiday brochure programme. When Wish You Were Here started, which was Judith Chalmers, she would actually be presenting from the places that they were talking about. You know, she would go on all of these holidays and talk about the boat trips and the shopping and the food and all of that. And it really, I mean, that was the programme that made everything really boom, because people suddenly were virtually getting a taste of everything through their television set.
And of course, plane travel was very different in those days. You know, there was a service on board the plane.
Yeah.
You know, drinks, duty free, a full meal. You know, which of course nowadays you're lucky if you get a pre-packed sandwich.
Yeah, you are.
And a biscuit.
Because you usually have to buy them now. You know,
but it was all in. Everything was in with the price, and you know, it might have got thrown at you, the meal. But you did have a meal. You could guarantee you were going to eat on the plane.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if it was a breakfast.
Yeah.
You know, like a bread roll and bacon and eggs or whatever. Sometimes very weird looking food, but it was usually edible, and you were glad for it.
Yeah.
And people used to dress up.
Oh yeah, it was an event. It was an event. Where now, of course, most people sort of dress for comfort, but they also have a mock-up. I think it's at Duxford of a plane, and they had a air hostess now dressed up as an air hostess in the early 70s, and she was serving people, and the leg room on the seats was so much bigger, and the seats themselves, I think, did they say that they've lost 2 inches in width and like 6 inches in leg room? You know, that's so that we can all be packed in like sardines and make more money.
Corporate greed over comfort and luxury. What a shame. Anywho, what a shame. The show has now come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Goodbye.
Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Adieu, adieu to year and year and year.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you. Goodbye.
It? That's so sweet.
Say goodbye now, Paul.
We will see you again next week for Sunday Chat.
Back on track.
Hopefully. Anyway, who knows what will happen between now and then. Bye.
Goodbye.